guys, welcome back. We are starting off this new year with a good old-fashioned reset vlog. This is just gonna be like my January reset, but it's also like my year reset. I just want to do a bunch of stuff to like get my house ready for the new year. I want to take down all of my Christmas decor. Normally I wait until like the end of January to take down all of my Christmas decorations, but I frankly just like I'm sick of it already. Like I want them down. I want to start this year fresh. I just want my house to feel like less busy right now. So that is the plan. I also made a list about all of the stuff that I want to do this weekend. It's a hefty list and I don't necessarily know if I'm going to like finish all of this by any means, but I want to take down my Christmas decorations, clean the living and dining room, like a deep clean, like vacuum the couch, you know, wash the floors, all of that kind of stuff. Wash my bedding, clean my nightstand. My nightstand is a disaster. I was sick for the past 2 weeks and like all of like my cough drop wrappers and everything are just all up in my nightstand. So I really need to clean and organize that. I also want to clean and organize the bedroom, just like tidy everything up. I want to vacuum the mattress and like get that all set. And then just kind of tidy up my bedroom, the office, and do some laundry. So that's all like the house stuff that I want to do. I'm also starting off the year with some good old-fashioned exercise. So I do have a workout class tonight. I actually have 2 workout classes scheduled for tomorrow and 3 for Monday. I don't know how long this vlog is going to go for, but obviously it's definitely going to go until tomorrow. I'm just not sure about Monday. So yeah, so I'll bring you along for some of my exercises. I have been loving yin classes and I feel like my body has never felt better. Like my back pain is gone. My hips feel looser than they've ever felt. I just feel like really, really good after I do the yin classes. So this whole year, I'm prioritizing doing a yin class, like at least once a week, if not twice, because genuinely, like I did a squat yesterday in my solid core class and I got so low and I was like, dang girl, you're flexible. Like, good job. And it's because of those yin classes, I swear. So anyways, I'm just gonna do a little something to get ready for the day. I do need to put on some new lashes, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna wash my face and just get ready for the day, and then we'll hop into some of the reset stuff. While I'm getting ready, I just kind of want to talk about some of my goals that I have for 2026, pardon me, because I feel like this is the year that I really want to just like crack down on some things that I've been not prioritizing, you know? Like I'm 30 now and I feel like I need to kind of get my shit together, for lack of a better term, in some areas of my life, and more so just because like these are just behaviors that I've done like my entire life and I just feel like I need to kind of grow up a little, you know? I don't know. So one of them is financial health and consumption. So these two go hand in hand together because obviously like consuming things like consumables, they cost money, and yes, it's partially for financial health, like in order to save more money and like just to be smarter about where I'm putting my money, but it's also about how much stuff I'm bringing into my house. I've touched on this before, but I don't live in a big house by any means. We live in a small like Cape Cod style house and it's perfect for my husband and I right now. Like my husband and I, there's just 2 of us. We have 2 dogs that are small. We don't have like an excessive amount of stuff or an excessive amount of like even desire to have a ton of stuff. Like I don't frankly want a big house right now because I hate cleaning and big houses come with responsibilities that I'm just not willing to do right now. And so I actually prefer having our cute little house. I love where we live. I love the neighborhood. I love the environment. I love how close we are to the city. Like I just love where we live right now and I don't want to move and I don't want a bigger house, but I feel like so much of society tells us like, oh, when you get to this milestone in your life, then you're supposed to like get a bigger house, or, you know, it's kind of like the American dream, quote unquote, to like have this big house with this big plot of land and all of this stuff. And it's like, I don't want that dream. That's not my dream. Yes, in some ways I have a dream to have a bigger house at some point in my life, but I don't have kids. I'm not gonna have kids in the next like year or two, and I don't want to outgrow my house. I don't want to have more stuff than fits in my house, and I don't want to feel overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that I have and feel like I don't have a place for it. Yes, part of the consumption that I'm talking about is for financial health and just to like prioritize saving some more money or putting that money towards different purchases. Like we've really been wanting to buy a different couch. So, you know, like prioritizing saving more money so we can get a different couch and like, you know, that kind of stuff. But the other part of it is just that I don't want to have so much stuff that I can't find a place for it in my home. I feel like on social media, so much stuff is pushed at us all of the time, and a lot of it has to do with consumable items. Obviously, like social media is a job that people have, and a lot of those jobs entail selling something to people, which I'm not against by any means. And I have found a lot of like great products that way. And I think that my favorite part about getting stuff, or like my favorite way to acquire stuff, is from people that I trust and people that I really like, or that I have the same kind of style or the same kind of personality on the internet with. Like, I feel like I trust that more than like a commercial or a billboard, you know, or like an ad in a magazine or something like that. Not that people like really read magazines anymore, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I trust a person that I've seen and, you know, had a parasocial relationship with, essentially, more than I do like a company that has provoked a lot of people to spend a lot of money on consumable things. And I'm not saying that I won't ever do that. I just want to be more picky about what I'm buying, and like more picky about where I'm deciding to spend my money, and like how much I'm willing to actually bring into my house. Because every time that you buy something, you're bringing an item into your house, you're bringing an item into your life, and I just want to be more conscious of that. So that is one of my primary focuses for this new year. The other kind of part of that is I want to slow down a little on my book purchases. I do currently have 3 book subscription services, which I'm not planning on getting rid of, because those literally bring me so much joy. Like, I look forward to those book subscription boxes every single month. I'm like counting down the days until I can pick out my books, and like I count down the days then until they come to my house. So clearly those are making a positive impact on my life. But if it ever gets to the point where it's not making a positive impact on my life, then I will cancel those subscriptions. Or if I feel like the books are just not speaking to me anymore, then I will cancel the subscription. I do plan on keeping those, again, mostly just because they've been bringing so much joy into my life. I do want to just kind of slow my roll on the amount of books I'm purchasing on top of those subscriptions. Most of the books that I get in the subscriptions are honestly books that I would have purchased anyways. So that's another reason that I feel like they are beneficial for me. The other books that I buy just like because I like the cover or stuff like that, I feel like I just want to like slow my roll a little bit. And I really want to prioritize bringing books into my space that are pretty and that I really like the cover of, because I know there's like the whole saying like don't buy a book by its cover, whatever. I completely buy a book by its cover. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I could know nothing about the plot of the book, but if the cover is pretty, I will buy the book. Because to me, books are like a form of art. Like, for me in my home, I display books like people display artwork. So it is kind of like an artistic piece in my home, but I don't feel like I need all of them anymore. I feel like for a while I was just trying to, I like wanted all of them because I had none of them, you know what I mean? And so I was purchasing a lot of them. But I feel like now I have a ton of them that I really, really like and that are filling up my bookshelves nicely. But I don't feel like I need to be purchasing all of the new special edition covers and all that kind of stuff like I used to feel. So those are more consumable type goals that I have for this year. Another goal that I have that's not really consumption related is around my health and food. So one of the things that I have just thoroughly been enjoying this year are my workout classes. So I'm definitely going to continue to invest in those and go to those workout classes because, again, that's something I look forward to every single week and I just absolutely love it. But the other component of like my health that I want to develop and progress my relationship with is food. I'm sorry if you can hear my dogs fighting. I'm just gonna shut that for a moment. So food has always been like a big thing in my life, and I feel like a lot of people go through this, like, you know, just trying to find a good relationship with food. And some people like never struggle with their relationship with food, which I find so interesting. And then other people like myself have just had like a very tumultuous relationship with it. And a lot of it has to do with the diagnoses that I've gotten in the past year with my sleep apnea and such. And if you're interested in like how sleep apnea has affected my appetite, I will 100% do a video on that, because I think that was so interesting to find that relationship and how that changed my relationship with food. And now that have a CPAP and I'm on Zepbound, my relationship with food has completely changed for the better. Like, I have never had such a positive relationship with food and with eating. I have been someone who's dieted like my entire life, and I've tracked, not even just dieted, but like I've tracked my calories like my entire adult life. And even like in high school, I was tracking calories. So this year, I don't want to do that to the extent that I was doing it before. I don't mind tracking calories here and there to find like how much something is or something like that, but I do not want to track my calories on a daily basis. I do like tracking calories and stuff for meal preps and like for recipes, just because I think that a lot of people are interested in that stuff. So I will keep doing that, but I want to continue to develop a positive relationship with food. So one way that I'm implementing this is just by having a more moderate approach to food in general. So eating when I'm hungry, not restricting on any foods. There's no foods that are labeled good versus bad. Everything is just food. And I want to have that equal relationship with food that I feel like I've never been able to achieve. I don't want a reward to be food. I don't want a like treat to be food, if that makes sense, because I think that negatively affects my relationship with food, and it makes me think of food as something that I either earn or that I get on like a special occasion, instead of something that's always available to me and that I can choose whether I want that and whether it's going to make me feel good. I do think that having that equal relationship with food is something that can really impact positively how you consume food in your relationship with it. And I also just want to practice this for myself, because if I ever have children, I want to be the kind of parent that puts a plate of food on the table for my I almost said my patient, for my child, and it has everything that the child would want to eat. So like it would have, you know, the main meal, the appetizer, and the dessert all on the same plate, and they can pick and choose what they want to eat at what time, because that to me is a balanced relationship with food. So yeah, those are just some of the goals that I'm kind of prioritizing for this year: consumption, financial health, and my relationship with my own health and my food. Notice that I did not have weight loss on there. Weight loss is going to be a byproduct of all of the other positive things that I'm doing in my life. And obviously I am on a GLP-1, so that's going to help. But weight loss is not the focus of my life right now. My focus in my life is trying to get back my life in a positive way. And the weight loss is something that's going to assist me with that. It is not the end goal. The end goal is to have a better, more balanced life than I was having in the past few years because of all of my health problems that I was going through. And weight loss is a tool that's assisting me to do that. It is not the end goal for me. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I just wanted to share those couple goals with you guys, and please let me know if you have any particular goals that you are working towards this year. I've decided I don't want to put on my lashes right now, so we're just gonna go skincare, bare face, to tackle the rest of my day. It's the next day and I feel like tackling the upstairs part of my household. So first things first, I need to take down the Christmas tree that's up here, just like a little pencil tree. And then I really want to like just organize my office area, which I feel like I say that every time I do a reset vlog because it's always messy. I clean it one day and then within a couple days it's like messy again. So, but then I also want to just clean out some of the bedding, clean up the upstairs, vacuum. Nia wanted to be in the vlog again. She loves being in the vlogs. But I also wanted to just like clean out the bedroom upstairs and just kind of like vacuum it and strip the bedding and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're gonna do today. So yesterday I finished Lost and Lassoed and Wild and Wrangled. Oh my gosh, so good. Wild and Wrangled, it was my favorite. Wild and Wrangled was my favorite. Then the second one was my second favorite. And then I think it would have to be the third, which is Lost and Lassoed, and then the first, which is Done and Dusted. So it would be Wild and Wrangled, Swift and Saddled, Lost and Lassoed, and Done and Dusted. But I just loved this series. I feel like it was like the Chestnut Springs series, but it also really dived into like some hard topics like family dynamics, some like financial difficulties, or like clashing with like societal status. Depression, that was another one. Like, I just feel like a lot of these were super relatable. A lot of the topics in these books were super relatable, and I absolutely loved them. I will be getting the books because I need to display them on my shelf. Like, I could see myself rereading these books if I just like needed something that was like a comfort series for me. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. So last night, I always listen to an audiobook or I read before I go to bed. So last night I started Wildfire, which is by Hannah Grace. This is like the second standalone in the Icebreaker series. So it's Icebreaker, Wildfire, and then the third one I think is Daybreak or Daydream, something like that. So I heard people say that if you didn't like Icebreaker that you should continue on with the series because it does get better. And personally, I didn't like Icebreaker that much. I thought it was like way overhyped, and there was just not a lot of character depth. Like, I feel like the relationship was super steamy and like physical, but then there wasn't any character growth per se, or as much as I wanted there to be. You know, like, I feel like we didn't really dive into why the characters are acting the way they are and like how they're improving their life and like improving themselves. So it just kind of felt a little surface level to me. Personally, I didn't really love it that much, but the second book, which is Wildfire, I really like this book. I really like it. We're following two characters, one of which we met in the first book. I don't remember if we met the FMC in the first book. I can't remember, to be totally honest, but we did meet the MMC in the first book. So he is a prominent character in one part of the book. So we're following his story along with this other woman, and they're both in college, but they're on break. So they both end up going to this camp and they're counselors there, and they both end up there for like different reasons. Like, one of them is for like a financial reason and the other one is more of like a nostalgic reason. So it's very interesting to kind of see their storyline. We get a lot more of like a background of why the characters are the way that they are. And then we also are seeing them like helping each other kind of go through the family dynamics that they're struggling with, which I personally just really like. Oh, the other book I have been listening to on audiobook is A Shadow in the Ember by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I am 72% of the way through this book, and I did listen to a little bit of it on audio yesterday and today, and I also read some of it yesterday. I think I'm going to continue listening to A Shadow in the Ember because I really want to finish this book today. I've just been on this book for too long. I feel like I'm getting kind of not annoyed with it, but I'm just like, I'm ready to kind of move on and do something different. I'm going to try to do that while I finish cleaning up what I need to clean up today. so clearly it's nighttime. I had kind of a very impromptu fun afternoon. So I went to my workout class and I was there and I walked in and I realized that I was at the wrong studio. I had booked it at a different studio than my normal one. I can't remember why I did that, if I did it on purpose or not. But anyways, so I didn't end up going to my workout class, but I did go book shopping. So I was like, I'm already downtown. I might as well go book shopping. I had a bunch of gift cards and like some money saved up at Barnes & Noble that I was going to use for book shopping, and I just didn't know when I was going to go. So I did go book shopping and I did some damage, but I still have more money left over on my gift cards for more books. So I'm so excited. There's probably going to be another haul of some sort of books in the near future. However, I do still want to abide by my 3 goals for this year, which were my consumption goals, my finance goals, and my physical and emotional health goals. So yes, these are a lot of books, but books are something that I don't mind spending money on because they bring me so much joy, and I actually physically go through them. Like I do read all of the books that I buy. So it's different for me buying a book and reading it versus like buying an article of clothing that I never wear. I did do a full haul video on all of the books that I bought. So there are more books in that video, but the books today that I got, I wanted to just like quickly run through them all. But if you want more details and like you want me to go more in depth on them, I would definitely watch that haul video. I am telling you this though because the last kind of chore, quote unquote, that I want to do for this video is to reset my TBR cart, which is right here. It's not in frame, but it's here. So I am going to reset it with some of the books that I got here. And then, yeah, we're just going to go from there. So I'm just going to run through the books quick. So I got 3 books by Amy Doss, The 9-Month Contract, The 7-Year Itch, and Honeymoon Phase. These are all just like cute little mountain men romances. And then I also got 2 books in the DC Stars series. I got Slapshot and Power Play. These are by Chelsea Curto, and I did not realize that these are the 2nd and 3rd book in the series. There's supposed to be 7 books total. There's 5 out right now, and I didn't realize that I got the 2nd and 3rd and not the 1st. I should have just gotten all 3 of them because they were available at the local bookstore in my area, but I didn't. So I'm kind of knocking myself on that. But anyways, I also did the same thing with that, where I bought the 2nd book in the series instead of the 1st with this next one. It is called His Grace the Duke by Emily Rath. This book has 3 books in this series, and I bought the 2nd because I am unaware, but this one is a Regency romance that was giving me like Bridgerton vibes, so I wanted to get this one. I will end up buying the 1st one too, because even if it's an interconnected like standalone romance series, I will always read the 1st one first and second and go from there. I will always read them in order. Next up, I got To Bleed a Crystal Bloom by Sarah A. Parker, who is the author of When the Moon Hatched, and this is a dark retelling of Rapunzel. So super excited about that. I have not heard anything about that. I didn't even know that was coming out or anything. I had no idea. I also got Rewind It Back by Liz Tom Ford. This is the 4th or 5th book in the Windy City series, and I don't have any of the other ones, but I wanted this one in particular because it has the red ombre sprayed edges, and they don't really sell that one anymore, but I just happened to find it at my local bookstore. And then I got the first 4 books in the Lucky River Ranch series. So this is Cash, Wyatt, Sawyer, and Duke. Got all of those. I'm just in my cowboy romance era, my sports romance era, and my fantasy era. Like that's all I want to read. And dark romance. And then Barnes was having a massive sale on hardcovers, so I got most of these for like $10 to $12. So I got Wisteria and Holly, which are part of the Belladonna series. Wisteria is the 3rd book, and Holly is it's technically a novella, I think. But I got the Barnes & Noble exclusive editions because the hardcovers on here are so freaking gorgeous. And then I got Vision of Flesh and Blood, which is a compendium novel for the Blood and Ash series, which I'm currently in the middle of. This is the only book in the series that I didn't have, and I wanted to get the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, so I did get this one. And then I also got the 3rd book in the Legendborn cycle series, which is called Oathbound. This is a thick girl. She's a thick book. Holy cow. But it's actually quite light. Ooh, this is small font. I didn't realize that. I'm super excited to read this one. And then last but not least, I got a bunch of books in the Lightlark series. So I got all of them except for one. All of these were 50% off again. I got the special edition of, I got the special like collector's edition of Lightlark and Nightbane. And then I also got the special edition of the Grimm and Oro. Actually, I think this is the only edition out right now in a physical copy. And then I also got Crown Tide, which was 50% off. This one just came out not that long ago. I think it was like in November or October, something like that. The only one I don't have is Sky Shade, so I do need to pick that one up, but I can always just order that one as well. But those are all the books I got today. So we are stacked for a 2026 TBR. I need to do some rearranging on this cart.